Hey, this is Jacob Baram with Mastersmuscle, and today I have a very special guest, Donna McGinn. So, I'm very happy to have you here today.
Thank you.
And the reason why I wanted her on this channel is because she truly represents, she's like the epitome of what the Mastersmuscle channel is all about. She's a Masters level competitor. She's an IFBB Pro like myself. She is a certified personal trainer. And she's also a massage therapist. So, I mean, she is really the total package. So once again, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
So I want you to tell me about what got you interested in fitness and, and when did you start competing?
First I went to massage school. That's when I got interested in fitness. Getting ready for the exams, being too busy, grabbing a muffin, going out, studying every single day. I'm like, okay, after this, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. That was my idea. And my idea was more like figure, kind of, even though I didn't know what figure was at that time. And then I met this guy, and we were just friends. And one day he says, I want to compete. And I'm like, compete in what? He said, well, bodybuilding. It's like, well, okay, never heard of that before. I knew of Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was it. And then he started leaning out about the same time that I was learning anatomy, which made it a lot more interesting for me. So I can actually see the muscles and name them, And I actually had a report I had to do at the end of the massage class, and actually used him as my report, which was kind of cool. Then he took me to a show, and his girlfriend was competing for, I guess, the first time, and she kept getting second place over and over again, and I'm like, wow, she's kind of scrawny. Maybe I could do that. And then I saw they were giving out the 4-foot swords, and I was like, wow, I want one. No, I want two, so I put them on my wall like that, And I actually ended up doing that. My first show, I got 2 swords, and I never did put them on my wall. They're just sitting there in my house. But I went and talked to the guy, and he did tell me about this trainer that he was using. Not exactly the nicest person, but will always tell you the truth, and that's what I wanted. Somebody that would tell me, okay, you're not ready for the stage, or yes, you're ready, because I don't want to step on stage unless I actually look like I belong there. Okay, that was my idea. So I went to him and started working with him, and literally 7 months later, kind of forced me to compete. At 7 months, I thought I would take me about 2 years. And actually, in 2 years, I was on the Arnold stage and looked the way I wanted to look.
Wow.
But 7 months, I was, he forced me on the stage, and I did okay. I made top 5, and every time after that, I made top 5. And I got my pro card literally in 2 years.
So how old were you when you started competing?
I was 48 when I started.
48?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got my pro card when I turned 50. Literally, I was on the Arnold stage at 52. So,
and you got an invitation to the Arnold show? Or?
That was the year that they were inviting women's physique. And the rule was the first people to send in for their pro card were going to get in. I was like number 2. I just pulled it out of the mailbox, put it right back in. And they ended up having everybody. So there were 52 girls. And I got about 16 out of 52. That's where I was standing, because they were pulling them up in groups of 7 at that time, and I was just like center on that third call out. So that was, I'm okay with that.
Wow.
The top 5 girls that actually won, I love it. They were shredded. Danny Rudin won that one. And it's funny that the top 5 girls, I think only one is still competing now. The other ones do not compete anymore.
So are you still competing?
My last show was before COVID. It was 2019. Yeah, I don't know if I'll compete again. We'll see. I actually like working out. I like doing prep. I like seeing my body change. I was never a huge fan of being on stage and showing off and trying to get a judge's approval. That's not me. But if I look the part and and I look good, I'm good with that. I don't ever have to compete again.
Yeah.
I can't imagine myself going to the Olympia. Especially at my age. I know they have masters now.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate to say this, but I don't really want to ever compete in a master's class. I like being in the open class. Even though I'm pretty sure I was the oldest person on stage last time. I did the Chicago Pro in 2019. That was my last one.
So how old were you when you really started working out?
48.
48.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of off and on in the gym, but not serious like at all. You know, so.
So with your personal training clients,
Mhm.
do you have a variety of ages, or are you mostly working with people over 30?
Right now, yes.
Yeah.
My youngest was 16, and she was anorexic, and she decided one day she wanted to be a bodybuilder. Parents came to me, and they're looking at me with fear in their eyes, and they're telling me, "You're a nutritionist, right?" I'm like, "I'm not a nutritionist, but I will try to help you." And literally 2 months, I have a picture. I will send you. I have a picture of her before and after, where she was just super skinny, and then a perfectly healthy girl with like triceps, and I mean, she looks absolutely gorgeous. And then eventually, she graduated from high school. She got a boyfriend. She wanted to get married, so she stopped. I gave her, she learned how to do her own diet after that, and she's still today in really good shape. Yeah,
That's amazing.
because I still keep up with her, so it's pretty cool to see that. So I'm pretty happy.
So when it comes to training your clients, how differently do you train like somebody younger versus some of your older clients?
It all depends on their bodies and how healthy they are. If they have any injuries, everybody has something. Even as a massage therapist, I'll notice they have like one side's always weaker than the other one. Their back, most people have some form of scoliosis or offset with their hips, or legs, their back, or whatever. And I'll actually try to fix that. I have one lady right now. She came to me. I mean, she's got I hate to say it's bad, really bad posture. She's stuck this way, and we work her back, specifically here, a lot of this. And you can see from her pictures, literally weeks later, she went from this to this to this, just exercising and dieting down.
So I'm sure you found that the more, when you truly understand anatomy and biomechanics, it makes a real difference in the way you train.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you're actually working with that client, you're seeing them hit the muscles correctly, all of the muscle fibers, not just going through the motions. I had people that go, "Oh, this is so hard." I said, "Your body's telling me different. You're saying it's hard, but you're going, yeah, this is easy." Yeah. So I said, slow down. Feel everything, even if it hurts. I want you to feel everything going up, contraction, slow, 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 all the way out. It's going to hurt. So we usually do a little bit lighter weight when we're doing slow work like that. But we know they're using the entire muscle, not just the entire body to swing and get that weight up. You know what I mean?
So on our channel just last week, I did a video on how to really improve the quality of your workout. And what I said is exactly what she's saying too. It's the quality of your workout, engaging that muscle completely with your mind and body. So as far as your own personal training, as you've gotten older, have you changed your training style?
Only because I got injured.
What happened?
Torn rotator cuff. 2 muscles completely off the bone, torn labrum, and a partially torn bicep. And it's not really from lifting. It was more from massage, because I use this arm for everything. And I do a lot of deep tissue, especially on the big bodybuilders and the power lifters I work on. It's just like constant. So one day I went into the gym, picked up 2 15-pound dumbbells, did 1 lateral, felt a pop, pop. And I was like, I think I'm done. Put them down. It didn't hurt. So for years, I kept lifting. Off and on, I would feel a little pain, it would go away, and I thought it was fine. Until one day, I went down to bed, I laid down, and the whole arm was just throbbing. I mean, absolutely throbbing. Then I knew, okay, I finally got to get it fixed. It was bad. Even the doctor's like, wow, that's a massive, massive tear. The word massive kept coming out of his mouth. Like, come on, it's not that bad. And then the knee went. I don't know what I did to the knee, but one day I woke up and it was like this wide.
Oh, man.
And 2 weeks later, when the swelling finally went down, I was feeling pretty weak. And that was just a torn meniscus in that one. So I had my surgery, which was hard to get during COVID at the time.
So as far as your training style, do you still train heavy and hard?
No, I go a little bit lighter. I'm just getting back into squatting deep now. So I'm working on building up the muscles around the knee again. I've been doing a lot of that one pendulum, which is absolutely great.
Yeah, if you've never done the Arsenal pendulum before, that machine will strip the ego off of you in a skinny minute.
Yeah, my trainer calls it the humbler, and he's right. I put a quarter on that thing, and I'm like, ah. But for the week after that, I'm literally feeling my vastus lateralis, and I'm feeling my teardrops the whole week, and I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted to hit, and that's the only part that was sore the whole time. So I know I hit what I, came to do with that. Leg extensions with that. I used to hack squat a lot. One time I did free weights, and I did okay. I was surprised. I was okay with that. I can feel the knees getting a lot stronger now with that.
So with my clients, and I guess with you yourself, I find that I need to isolate more. Now, the more that I get, the older I get,
Right.
I really need to work on those, use machines that really isolate those individual muscle groups. And that's kind of my coach's philosophy as well.
Yeah.
I'm still training. I am a low volume trainer and I train heavy, but I'm always very protective of my joints. And when people think I'm videoing stuff for my ego, now I'm videoing it for my coach so he can make sure that I'm not doing anything stupid.
Right. Good idea.
Yeah. So, what are your plans for the future as far as, your training and your business?
I'm just going to keep myself in shape. For me, my business is just constantly learning.
Yeah.
I just recently came back from Vegas, where I went to the Vegas powerhouse with Irish Kyle and Heedy. He keeps saying his name wrong, I'm sorry. To learn some more stuff, basically. And I'm hoping to go up to Canada at some point and learn with Mike Wick, who works with a lot of people that have injuries and stuff like that. He's really good about concentrating on doing things that are right for your body, even if you're like off center. How to hit that muscle correctly when you're, and if you're feeling it wrong, then you're doing it wrong. Okay, that kind of thing. So I'm just trying to learn as much as I can so I can become the best trainer. That's my goal, become the best trainer I can.
Great. So, with your personal training business and your massage therapy business, how can people get a hold of you? And are you still taking clients?
Yes, always taking clients. So try to squeeze them in no matter where. You can actually email me direct at Donna McGinn Physique at Yahoo.
So I'll make sure I put that in the comments below. And speaking of comments, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more interviews like this. So where do you find that you get most of your clients from?
Word of mouth, usually. My cards. People see my cards because I'm like jacked on it. And Instagram. My Instagram just got hacked, so I just had to start a new one, unfortunately. And that's DonnaMcGinn.IFBB. Okay.
All right. I cannot thank you enough for agreeing to talk to me. As I said, she is the epitome of what the Mastersmuscle channel is all about. So I want to do more interviews like this. And once again, thank you very much for talking to me today. And I'm going to have some pictures throughout the video and contact information for her. So if you want to work with Donna, I highly recommend that you do. Then be sure to give her a shout out. So this is Jakob Baram with Mastersmuscle. Have a good day.